Greetings, Geechlings, Geechin Prime here with my review of One Piece Chapter 875, A Woman's Honor, which we got to know what that actually meant. I mean, it wasn't too convoluted, it was almost, it was expressly said. I just wasn't sure if it meant, like, pudding, which was probably the most obvious thing, but it turns out to be Chiffon's honor. But anyway, it starts off, we're back with the cover story of Bartolomeo and his crew, and they've done burn the red hair's Jolly Roger that was hung over the town. I can only assume he does not know who Shanks is in relationship to Luffy. You know, their connection, you would think if he knew anything about it, he would do nothing against Shanks. Because it's like, you inspired my hero, you're like my superhero, or something like that, you know. Because he probably would act like that. But yeah, that's what I only assume. And the people didn't look very happy about any of it. I don't know if Shanks will appear, though. I mean, how does anyone travel from territory to territory that you control? It kind of shows the hole in having like a bunch of territories if you don't have like bases or something there, you know. Modern world makes sense with bases and whatnot. But anyway, Broken Chopper aboard the Shark Submerge go through the cream-filled Juice River. Chopper's having a field day. He's loving all the sweets. Brook not so much. I assume probably stuff in his afro, which yeah, that'd probably take a while getting all that sticky stuff out of things that he have to be real careful about, otherwise he'd lose it. Chopper also misidentifies a merman as a mermaid. This excites Brook, and then it's immediately followed by disappointment. That was kind of funny. But there was like a tiger Sea King thing, which I don't know how, and so the merman must have been off screen. But next we see Jinbei. He's explaining the whole Big Mom's like eating fits, which apparently the others were not aware of. I thought they kind of put the dots together by now, but I guess not. During this time, Luffy and Carrot reveal that they ate some of the cake. You know, Big Mom never got any of it, but they did. I'm sure Chopper probably did too. The Straw Hats start just tearing through all the homies to reach the Sunny, and they think that they're close, but because of the confusing nature of the woods, you know, that kind of puts everything into question of their, you know, their path that they've are taking right now and how far away that is anymore. Let's see. Scroll down a bit. Carrot spots the bridge that they from earlier in the arc. Nami suspects it's a trick because the bridge that they saw had been broken before, and this one was in perfect shape. So there's either multiple bridges throughout the woods, or it was repaired in the less than about a day since they were there. Nami also mentions the Viver card doesn't seem to be working anymore. Jinbei tells her it's because Big Mom's nearby. You know, her orders are law. They come, you know, they're superior to the card. And also he adds that she needs to keep feeding Zeus, or else they'll never be able to outrun Big Mom, because, you know, she'll go Dragon Ball Nimbus Cloud on you again. Luffy then follows all this up because he wasn't happy about the trees being burned for some reason. You would think the trees are burning, it less homies you have to deal with, and there might be a clearer path seen. But no, he starts attacking Prometheus. Why did you burn all the trees? Jet Gatling. And he had armament hockey, but it was doing nothing to him. And also at one point earlier in the chapter, I was zipping when I was taking my notes, so I missed it until this. But hey, trees on top of trees, right? We actually get to see King Bomb's remains, which are still fairly well intact. Now, the question to be raised is, does he still have the soul fragments that brought him to life in the first place? Because obviously, without it, he's just a burnt tree. But assuming that he still has an actual face, that he still has it. So he might pull a Groot revival, just not in the way that Groot actually did it. But anyway, like I said, Luffy's attack didn't do anything to Prometheus. He's fire, so he just kind of regenerated himself. Luffy screams that he's worse than a Logia type, which is very accurate because, Armament Haki would work against them. But Jinbei eventually reaches the river. He uses fisherman karate, which I'm not actually sure if it's actually fisherman karate, if it's just attacks that they use. Spear wave passing shower to douse Prometheus to kind of slow him down, to give him a little more chance to get away. Pedro and Carrot start fighting soldiers who had gotten close enough. Jinbei instructs them not to fight. We're to defend and keep moving. If we get separated, we may not find each other again. True statement. Zeus, after this, bites down on Nami's climb attack and eats a lot, if not all of it. They made it sound like all of them, of the lightning weather eggs, which then supercharges him with lightning. Which then Nami tells everyone, run faster, and Sanji's actually picked her up. It's like, run faster, don't look back. And she uses a breeze tempo, which then kind of sets off Zeus into shooting a massive lightning bolt that strikes his own allies. So that'll probably slow people down. And that's actually seen across a good portion of the island, it looks like, because we see Perospero now on board the Sunny. I'm not sure why he's there. And he was thinking that was Mama's doing. Chopper and Brook arrive at the Sunny. They also saw the destruction in the forest. They hope their friends are alright. Perospero is like, you're probably the only two left, and you could fight to reclaim the ship, but if you just get in your sub and go away, we'll let you go. They refuse and ready to battle. That evil glare in Brook's eyes, and Chopper's gone into Kung Fu point, so yeah, they're not backing down. Next we see Chiffon and Pudding riding on, I forget the name of the carpet, and they also saw the attack from the sky, and they hope the Straw Hats are okay. Pudding apologizes to Chiffon for her harebrained request, but Chiffon's like, no, it's fine. Plus, it's been a long time since we baked together. So, apparently the siblings actually do spend time together when there's not a bunch of bullshit going on. Let's see, where did I leave off? We then see a couple flashbacks of Chiffon telling Capone, it's like, live your life with honor, and while he was protesting her decision to go with Pudding, and it's like, and if anything happens, take care of Pez. And then Chiffon further goes into I wouldn't say a rant, but it's like a declaration. She tells them, which I'm not sure if it was actually to Capone while that was going on, or it was while they were flying in the air with Pudding, that she is indebted to those who saved Lola, and that thanks just isn't enough, especially when their lives, the ones who say that you're indebted to, are in danger. So you must do something. That's the truth of, the indebtment. And then finally, I'm starting to question Pudding's alignment again. Pudding spots Sanji. She calls him a fool, further confusing what side she's on, obviously. But then at the very end, there's a what the, not sure who actually said it. That's the problem with some talk bubbles that are like screams. You don't see like the little tail, so you don't know who says it. So, not sure if she sees Sanji holding Nami again, because remember, he saved Nami before. I think it was during this arc. Pretty sure. So maybe she's getting jealous, or maybe it's something completely different. Who knows? But anyway, overall, the chapter was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a fun romp, especially after the break. I still give it a 4. There was a few things I hadn't spotted, so I'm at least keeping the score. But yeah, the Zeus thing, he just bit down on it. It's like, oh, you weren't going to feed me anymore or something like that. I don't know what his thoughts were. Greedy little bastard, wasn't he? But anyway, that was funny. It helped set off the kind of escape, which who knows exactly if that did anything to Big Mom at all. Maybe she did like a full body armament hockey and survived, and she's like the only one that's still able to fight. That'd be interesting to see. But good chapter, solid chapter, everything. So read it for yourself, obviously. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Keishlings, roll out.